Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out finding treasure at garage sales and thrift shops, any kind of secondhand locale. And by treasure, I mean gold, silver, jewelry, silverware, all sorts of things that are precious. Today's video is about identifying diamonds. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through a bunch of different tricks that I've learned for identifying diamonds. This is primarily aimed at when you're out and about, you don't have access to things to tell you for sure if something's a diamond, like an actual jeweler with a loop. There are also things that might be useful if you have maybe grandma's jewelry box and you're wondering what could be diamonds or valuable in it. These tricks will work for those purposes. And we'll also talk about a gem tester. I happen to have a Smart Pro Gem i1, and we'll go through and we'll talk about how that works to actually help us identify diamonds. So the first thing we're going to talk about is, I think, the most important thing if you're wondering if a particular piece of jewelry is filled with diamonds or not, and that's quality. Quality is the thing that you absolutely need to be able to identify before you proceed with anything else. And to that front, we're going to use a few props here. I'm going to grab this piece right here, and you might think, oh, hey, this is a video about diamonds. I wonder if there's diamonds in there. Now we're going to look close at it. You're going to see, first off, this is not a very high quality piece of jewelry. And in particular, if you look at the back, you can see the big rivets. You can see how it's gold plated. If you watch my other videos, you'll see this is very typical of gold plating right here. It's not something that somebody who was setting a bunch of very large diamonds into a thing would do. You wouldn't take a piece of costume jewelry like this and put diamonds in it. You would be setting it in gold. If this were real gold, then I might think, wow, we should look a little closer, but this is not real gold. So you can say, okay, these are just going to be glass, or probably just glass, maybe quartz or something. So we'll set that one aside, and we'll go to the opposite end of the spectrum, and we'll look at this little guy right here. We have two of these. There's the other one. All right, now these are real diamonds. And if you look at them compared to this, you can see an obvious difference right away. But the thing I want to focus on with these diamond earrings is their construction. Do you see how they are made? The stud is literally a screw, and the backer, which is marked as 10 karat, so the backer itself is 10 karat. Probably is 10 karat to be durable, because it's a nut. And you put this on your ear and you screw it on your ear so you don't lose it. Now, anytime you see a feature like this, which is a difficult feature to make and an expensive feature, you're going to want to look closer at the jewelry item, because these are features that are designed so that you don't lose it. You'll see a lot of these types of things on bracelets, extra chains. You'll see this on pins, guard pins. Sometimes we'll have a secondary pin, so if one of the pins falls off, it can dangle from the first pin. These are all signs of quality, and they're things that you want to then look at closer, because you're not going to go through all of this work to keep some glass on your ear, realistically. Or a stone that isn't really worth going through all that work to keep secure and not to lose. Because this is, make no mistake, that's a lot of work to do that. That's a very challenging little bit of jewelry making there. So when it comes to quality, there are other things that you can look for too. Now, these won't necessarily mean that you've got diamonds, but they are things to think about. Unusual construction, like this particular piece caught my eye, and it is a gold piece. It's 14 karat gold, but it caught my eye on eBay, and the reason is I thought it was interesting. I thought it was an odd thing, but then when I looked at it, the construction is very durable, and very specific. It was constructed to be able to continually add different stones, to add or remove them as needed. And I believe this is like a pin for like a mother or father, and each one of these would be a birthstone for that person. So when this was originally made, maybe there was only 3 kids who had birthstones in this, and then the intention was that more stones would be added, which is why you have this construction of whoever this jeweler was chose this method to actually craft this so that it could be easily upgraded as more children or grandchildren came into the world. And each one of those, as you can see, is holding the stone quite nice. So this would be a piece where I look at it, I go, you know what? That one right there, that could be a diamond. That would be my thought. And when we get to the gem tester, we'll check it out. So quality is not just of construction, but also of materials. So for example, if we grab this piece right here, in my giant pile here of stuff, we all love jewelry piles, right? So this is old. Looks old. Looks quite nice. So we're going to say, you know, that would be pretty cool if those were diamonds, right? Maybe this is old and those are diamonds. The quality of construction leads me to think a little bit not, but more importantly, if we go check out what it's made out of, sterling, somebody isn't going to take a bunch of really expensive diamonds and put a bajillion of them on a ring and then make it sterling. It's just not going to happen unless it's a very custom piece. And if it's a very custom piece for someone who's maybe allergic to gold or like even 18 karat golds and needed sterling because of their allergy, the quality of construction would then be higher. So these are little hints for dismissing this. These are going to be probably glass or quartz. Even though it is sterling, and even though it's a pretty nice ring, it's not where we're going to look for diamonds. Okay, now we're going to talk about one more piece when it comes to this type of construction, and that's this piece right here. Now, here we have a fairly nice amethyst, and surrounded by, woo, those would be some pretty honker diamonds, wouldn't they? So it's a pretty nice looking ring. The thing is, amethysts aren't really that rare anymore, and they're not very expensive. Now, if this were properly antique, maybe we'd be looking at some diamonds around it. But I think we'd have maybe different cuts of those diamonds, and that's getting a little into the weeds. But you can look at the rest of the ring and go, that's not an old ring. You just look at it and go, it's not worn out, it's not particularly old. So let's have a look at the markings, and we'll see. Yeah, these are very modern. That's a very modern kind of a 10 karat mark down in there. If I can get my thing to focus there. There you go. You've just got 10. Come on, you can focus. Anyways, you can see there's 10 karat right there. So let's look at the rest of the ring and see if there's anything else. Aha, look at that. CZ right there. Now that's very nice because this is a quality piece. It is a 10 karat ring. And they were not trying to hide anything. They weren't trying to make something fake. They were saying you have an amethyst there. And guess what? It's surrounded by cubic zirconia stones. So we know, because this is a quality piece, they told us that it is not diamonds, which is nice. It's very nice of them. And we'll look here. You know, here we have another piece. This one I might think is more likely to have diamonds because they're so small. We'll have a quick look at the markings in here. Does it say, what does it say? I think it says 10. Let's see, it says 10K. Oh, come on, phone. You are not having a good day, are you? 10KP? Yeah. Which is 10 karat plum, which I believe is it's a marking for 10 karat. Yeah, 10KP. Come on, phone. There we go. And that is the only marking on this one. So we'll test this when we bust out the diamond tester, because they're small enough that they might be diamonds, even though they're set in 10 karat and even though they're around an amethyst. It's a nice ring. Okay, so let's move on for a second. We'll talk about another straight up trick. Now, I'm hoping my phone, which is not having a good day when it comes to focusing, will be able to do this okay. I'm going to set things up here a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to break out this, which is a blacklight. I think I bought this for, it's like $3 or something, years and years and years ago on Amazon. They're very, very cheap. But they can give us a little hint on something. And they're nice when you're out and about in particular because we can check to see if stones fluoresce. So I'm going to flip off my lights here real quick. And then we're going to hit the black light. We'll turn that on first. There we go. And you can see some things are fluorescing here. If I shine my black light on it, you see this stone right here, and this stone right here, and this one right here. They all glow, and there you go. You got rubies. Rubies really glow under black light usually. You can see how some of these stones are different. Like when I move it right there, you can see how those are showing up. Now CZs don't fluoresce under black light, or at least don't fluoresce under black light bright enough that you can really see it. Now, natural diamonds and synthetic diamonds can both fluoresce. I am not certain that you would necessarily use this as a test to determine natural versus synthetic. I would say that you might be likely, in the case of like this tennis bracelet, my notion is that this is probably natural diamonds, because if they were synthetic diamonds, you probably wouldn't have a situation where some of them fluoresced, and that the ones that fluoresced at different levels. Now, the fluorescence in a diamond is actually a flaw. The more it fluoresces, the lower grade the diamond is. And that's because the fluorescence actually is because of impurities in the diamond. It's not something that most people will ever see, and you wouldn't necessarily know it unless you broke out a black light. But it is something to be aware of, and it's a nice little trick when you're looking at something to go, hey, does a couple of the stones in this thing fluoresce? Cool. That's more likely that we're looking at diamonds. And that's what this video is about. What's the likelihood that these things are going to be diamonds? Because I'm not, in a YouTube video, going to be able to help most people figure out, do I have a real natural diamond in my ring versus a synthetic diamond versus something else? But I will be able to direct you in the right path, and that's what we're doing right now. Okay, now let us go to the next portion of this, which is the gem tester. Now, these are not like the cheapest things on the planet. I think they're like about $250. So we've got this one plugged in, and they are, to put it lightly, persnickety. I am not a huge fan of this thing when it comes to trying to figure out what a stone is. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't play nice for most of the stones, but it does do a bang up job on diamonds. So let's go ahead and power this up. I'm actually going to pause it while I do the power up sequence because it's, as I said, persnickety. I'll be back when this thing's working. Okay, this thing's up and kicking. I'm just going to hit this little diamond thing here to test. Okay, so that is showing me diamond. Then it goes back down. Hopefully you can see this okay. We're not going to pay too much attention to these other stones. This thing, as I said, is very persnickety, and this is a video about diamonds. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with something that I know is diamond, and if any of you are big jewelry people, you also know these are diamonds. Let me zoom in a little bit. Move this so that you can see it. Okay, jewelry, you got to move out of the way a little bit. There you go. All right, so what we're going to do, so we just hit this right here on the stone, on the flat of the stone. You can see, woo, diamond. So that's what this thing does, by and large. If you wanted to figure out diamonds, I can recommend it. If you want it to figure out other things, I don't know that I would recommend it. It'll tell you if something's not a diamond. So for example, let's see, not that one, but this one. I was thinking maybe one of these stones here that stone in particular, maybe that's a diamond. So let's go ahead and see if it reacts in the same way as that last one. Oops. That was because I actually hit the metal on this. There we go. And the answer to that is no. If this were diamond, it'd be going all the way up. Okay. So let's check just a couple of little pieces here. So you might have something very old and unusual like this little Freemason pin. Some of my regular viewers would have seen the video in which I found this. I'll link that up here. This was in a eBay lot. And one of the questions is, this is gold. It's marked as gold. The question is this a diamond? So shall we check? There we go. So sure enough, this is, in fact, a little diamond in there. And one of the things that's a hint that this is a diamond, if I take off the backer here for you, is that when they constructed this, gold, which is always a good hint that you want to look closer at a piece if you think that it might have a precious stone in it. And B, do you see how it's open on the back to allow light through? You wouldn't bother with that probably if it were just glass or something. That's a fair bit of extra work. So between the gold and the fact that it's got the little window in the back, the likelihood that it was a diamond was fairly high. Now this tester is kind of tricky in one respect, in that, as you saw, if I hit the metal, then it will freak out and it won't be happy. So should we find out if this one has little diamonds in it? See if I can do this. Nope. I can do it. Do I have steady enough hands? Ah! Come on, machine. You know I can do it. There we go. Yes. So, we do, in fact, have diamonds on this guy. And let's just look at what CZs do on this machine, shall we? Because we know these are CZs because of what the ring says. There, oh, I can do it. Ah! Let's put this on a CZ. Or on the metal. Okay. Oop. So, I am bad at gem testing, in case you haven't noticed. There you go. That's what a CZ does, at least on this particular machine. Okay, so now Oh, buddy, I'm making a video right now. Can you wait a moment? You want to come in? You can come in. You can say hi to the camera. We're just testing a few diamonds.
I just don't want to come in because I just been looking for you.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, I just was looking for you. I don't know where you were.
Yeah, I was right here, just making a video. Okay, buddy. All right, so I'm going to finish off with just a couple other pieces here. If you're interested in buying one of these units, I mean, I could definitely recommend it for the diamonds, but also, you know, if you've got kind of shaky hands, my hands are relatively shaky, it's not an easy thing, and it's kind of annoying, and I mean, it'll help you with these other stones, but I'm not feeling very comfortable telling anyone to buy it to identify their other stones. But when you've got something like, you know, a pair of earrings like this right here, which are gold, if you see, I've got another video, I'll see if I can link it, showing the little markings on these things. You know, I go, hey, man, if these are diamonds, that'd be great. Let's just have a look here. Let's see if these are diamonds. Those are not. Those are CZs. Maybe this little guy here is diamonds. What do you think? Can we manage that one? Oh, interesting. Okay, machine, let's let you reset down. Yep, okay. Ah. See, so here's the thing about the machine that I don't quite understand. Let's get that. This one may be a sapphire. And people who are more familiar with this machine can tell me. But yeah, this is not getting up into the diamond. So this, I'm guessing, might be a white sapphire. And that's where the machine kind of gets to me. So the last one I want to do real quick here is we're going to do one on this tennis bracelet because we knew some of these fluoresced, right? So let's see if I can do one on it, and we'll see if they're diamonds. Diamond. Now, let's see if we can find the one that fluoresced. Okay, so here, you can't see it because I'm doing it off of camera. So if we go here, you see that one is fluorescing right there? Right here. So let's do the one that is fluorescing. Yep, that's good. And we'll do one that isn't fluorescing. Yep, we're good. So there you have it. This is the video I wanted to make about identifying diamonds. I can't really tell you a whole lot more about the specific details of identifying, natural diamonds, quality of stones, grading the color. You definitely need to go find a jeweler that you trust, make friends with somebody, and they're going to need to help you because it is something I'm sure that you can learn, and maybe someday I will learn it. But for right now, I'm going to rely on this persnickety little bit of technology, and I'm going to rely mostly on looking for quality because the quality has led me to more diamonds and more precious stones than anything else that I've done personally in my treasure hunting. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment. If you want to know anything more about any of these pieces of jewelry, just let me know. And what I will do is I will try to make a video about it for you. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I hope I earned your subscription. And I think YouTube wants me to say something about hitting that like button. You're supposed to smash that like button. I hope you can use this information to go out and find some treasure for yourself. Have a great day.